So episode 2 of the Baldwins, we watched this one together in horror and laughter.
Mhm.
My big takeaway was she really let the accent go all over the place on this one.
Listen, and I don't blame her. I mean, who amongst us hasn't gone in and out of an accent when our husband's OCD is getting so bad? And then also, like, the stuff that's happening like a day before the trial, like it's so bipolar. Like it's so, you know what it is? It's all manic. It's already so manic, but this is like especially like the mania, and we have like just like it's just insanity, and then we crash.
It's
and then we just crash.
Just so crazy that they because like I feel like they could have gotten a reality show a while ago, but Alec was too good to do it, and now he's only doing it because he's like, well, this way I can tell my side of the story,
and also because they're gonna get paid, and he
needs the money, right? But it's like to be cramming it in right before so it's like, clearly a lot of this is very staged. Like, okay, we're gonna have cameras in the house today, and it's gonna be you guys, getting the kids packed up to camp, and
Carmen's not going to camp.
But Carmen's not going to camp.
Carmen's too old for camp. She's 10.
Yeah, wild. But yeah, it's just so, it's like, why would you do this? It's like, it's so important. The whole theme of this episode, it's so important for the kids to spend time with him.
And it's their anniversary. Okay,
But then this is the time you were like, oh, it's so important. But you brought cameras into your home with your 7 kids. So it's like, oh, he might be gone forever. And this is our special time. So we need cameras to record it all.
And he's shoveling shit, and they're eating horse carrots.
They've got to be under the stress of having a production in their house. It's just like
pizza on the floor. Carmen's watching the baby. They're making pasta together, her and the baby.
It's so crazy. Anyway, the episode starts with zooming in on dog shit on the floor. And then, the kids are at camp and the baby's with the nanny. So Carmen makes because, God forbid we use, lotion, a honey and coffee mask, and puts it on Alan.
Who's 7 days out from trial.
And then because they've got to pretend to do these shenanigans for the camera.
She's gotta wash her father's face with the coffee and honey.
And then also like the way that Hilaria and Alec brag during this part about Carmen being the third person in their marriage, where
they really do talk about, like, that's their anniversary's coming up, and it's gonna be me, you, and Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen's like, what are we doing for this year's anniversary, guys? It's like
just insane. And then we get to other parts of the show, and and Carmen is having to tell her mom gift ideas for her mom and dad's anniversary. And it's weird. Carmen is so young. She is 10.
Yeah.
She's so young.
Yeah, but then it's like in her confessionals, she's in a full beat explaining
big hoops.
I like being the oldest because, I get like a lot of alone time with my mom and dad, but I don't like it because I also have to watch my siblings all the time. And it's like,
yeah, and she does. It's like her and the baby, and they're literally rolling pasta dough, and then they eat the pasta with soy sauce. Like, it's just like so crazy.
Bizarre. And then she also talks about Alec exactly like Hilaria does.
And Hilaria also says, like, she's a mini me. She really is just like, she's like another Hilaria.
Yeah. And then, Alec explains almost proudly that after he put his first daughter, Ireland, through a nasty 6-year custody battle, that's why... Because of Kim, right?
No, he didn't say Kim. He doesn't even say ex-wife. He just says because of her mother.
Because of her mother,
Like, we don't know who mother is.
Yeah, but that's why Carmen is his favorite, and Carmen knows that she's his favorite too. And he and Ireland are cool now, but she's not part of the family. Oh, this guy's
and he says that she's not in the fold, but like she is. He's like, she's not in the fold, but she is technically like their sister.
Yeah, it's just like,
she sees them. She is like technically like all of their sisters. It's like, my God.
Yeah, but it was
actually nicer when it's like nicer when you called her a ungrateful pig.
Yeah, it's him literally saying, it's nice to have Carmen because she's basically like Ireland too.
She's
the Ireland I like more.
Ireland. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Ireland just wear hoops?
Yeah, exactly. And Hilaria is worried about Carmen because Carmen worries. And then she tells like a lot of, I can't even remember,
she's like,
extensive stories about that. Like, oh yeah. And like Carmen the other day, she came up to me and she said, you know, is this the last time I'll see Daddy? Maybe I should plan a special goodbye. Like, I was like, first of all, yikes.
Whoa. And then, like he's not going off to war. Okay. He's not
special goodbye.
A special goodbye for Daddy. Like, please. No, like, let's edit this part out.
Yeah. And just also like elaborate made up stories that like Carmen has given no indication of.
When you see Carmen interacting with Alec, much like Hilaria, she doesn't really seem to give a shit that he's there.
No.
It's like, well, I will appease you and we'll do this little activity, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
she does not give a fuck.
Yeah, she's like, he's an old boomer who loves me.
Yeah, she's like,
whatever.
You're old and it's weird and I'm going to put coffee on your face and it's looks like blackface, and this is the opening of the episode.
Yes. So then the kids come home from camp and they have pizzas, which are frisbeed by the children.
This is the other thing that you can tell that this entire family has never acted like they've never interacted with pizza or a pizza box. No one knows how to hold a pizza box in this home. So as soon as like the pizza's delivered from the pizza guy, immediately all of the slices fall on the floor. There's like 6 boxes of pizza. Nobody knows how to pick up the pizza boxes. The kids are eating pizza off the floor, then they put it back in the box. Then Hilaria is trying to carry that. She carries a pizza box like it's a kid on her hip.
Yeah.
Instead of just like holding a box.
And then the other two, and so it's like they're at an angle. So clearly all of the pizza has flopped and folded in on itself. And she's like, here you go.
Here's your pizza. Yeah, like it's like, it's like whatever. Kids eat pizza, kids eat food off the floor all the time. But it is funny that they put all of the pizza like that, like the slices that fell on the floor, they put them all in one box. And that was a box outside Alec ate out of. He was like, this is my pizza.
Well, he was like bitching about getting shit on his shirt. He's such a boomer.
God, yeah. He was like, this is my favorite shirt. It's like, oh my, this is okay. And the other thing that keeps happening in this episode, every 5 minutes we see, like 6 days out from trial, 4 days out from trial, 2 days. And just like the weird things they're doing when this man has to fly across the country for a manslaughter trial.
Also, like, what suspense do you think you're building when
he's showing horse shit?
We know the charges are dismissed. So why are we doing a countdown for something that we ultimately what if he never comes home? We know he does.
Yeah, because this is the other thing that they're talking about. So it also, like we explained, it is their anniversary. So in the midst of all of this chaos, they gift each other their anniversary gifts, and the kids are all around. It's noisy. So like Hilaria tries giving him what'd she get him, like a silk handkerchief?
A silk with like St. Christopher, patron saint of travelers.
It's supposed to protect him, but he couldn't understand it because the kids were screaming. He couldn't give her his gift, and she kind of walked away with all it was chaos, and he looked really sad and just annoyed. He looked annoyed.
But I mean, my thing was, why did they even bring the kids into it? It was supposed to be them and Carmen, the three in the couple.
Yeah, actually, and just like do it when they all go to bed. I don't know. He finally does give her like pearls and the pearl earrings or something, and he's like, you probably won't even like these, but I like these. But women your age don't even have class or taste. But my generation did, so I got you earrings that are for an old woman. She didn't like them.
She did not like. Well, she put them in though,
because but then she took them out.
But my thing is, like, it's obviously so ugly to hear from Alec, because it's like he's just such a misogynist and he's been like kind of trying to hide it. But she like shits on him all the time. I think they kind of get off on it, like she's like in the first episode, she's like, I do believe that age is not just a number; it's very important.
But then she'll be like, here's examples about how it really does affect our marriage.
Yeah, and because he's so old and I'm so young with my, hot, tight twat, is very like what she's always saying. It's like, and he's an old floppy dick loser. They don't like each other.
Right.
But, oh yeah, so what was the thing I was gonna say? Fuck.
Jason, cut this.
Fuck it. Okay, whatever. Oh yeah, so then also we see Hilaria go to a friend's house.
Oh my God.
It's clearly like an Airbnb of like a guy who is wildly uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, not at all empathetic, but he's her best friend. I don't even know what his name was.
She's just staring at her blank-faced as she's like...
Blank-faced, and they're each drinking like goblets of... It's like a goblet of rosé.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know whether to go to the trial or not. Like,
yeah, it's like they have to fly out in 24 hours. She's like, I don't know if I fly to New Mexico where my husband's on like trial for manslaughter or stay and watch the kids.
She's like, it's so hard because, if I do go, then they'll say I'm a bad mother. But if I don't go, they'll say I'm a bad wife. It's like, girl, you're worried about what people are going to say about you? Like, they already all hate you. Like, everyone says that all the time. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Okay. So all of the scenes with them and their kids, you know what it reminds me of? Humble brag. My family was on the news, in Dallas News in like 2000, year 2000. And much like Carmen, I was, taking care of all the little kids. So it was like about how Dallas was going to start needing to use area codes. We had to use the 214 area code to dial out. So they kind of like, to make this like a big story, they went to our block and they're like, look at these parents. They're already so busy with all of these crazy kids. How are they going to have time to dial the like 3 numbers at the beginning? And so it's like, my job was like, okay, try to like corral the kids, but kids, you can be as crazy as you want. Go nuts, because we're trying to be like, this cannot stand. We can't have these 3 numbers. These kids are too crazy. It seems like that is the direction that the producer has given every time they're all in the room, because all the kids are like flipping the bird, screaming fuck you, and it's like,
yeah, that is funny.
And like they're not even getting mad. It's like they're intentionally like, look how hard our life is. It's chaos.
We're falling apart. Yeah, now our 6-year-olds are in high chairs.
When really, I think when anything happens, they're just, they could be like, hey, nanny,
we have 2 nannies. Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's the vibes it gives me, is this choreographed chaos.
Choreographed chaos. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. But it ends on, a loving note.
Well, because I think Alec's falling apart completely.
Well, yeah, he is falling apart.
He's talking about his career's
Oh,
done.
yeah. Well, we skipped the part. He does leave for like a day to go to LA for an AI thing, which is basically like he's selling his likeness to any future video games, anything that they might need him in, which like there's like a dystopian movie about Robin Wright with this signing over your likeness. But it's like, that's like, as an actor, it's like he must be desperate, like where it's like he's, because that means that they won't hire him for any of that stuff. They'll just use his likeness. It's just a buyout. And he's in this pathetic mocap suit and they're like zooming in on his face, his bloated face, pouting.
Yeah.
He's got like little red dots all over his body and he's like, I burnt the toast again. And like just doing all these different combinations of words so that they can have, this animated Alec Baldwin say whatever they want, whatever, in the future. And then it cuts to him in confessional bitching about like all of his friends abandoned him after this pieces of shit.
The phone's not calling. I used to be able to be selective with my work. I can't do it anymore. It's over for me.
And then he talks about like his career and, how he decided to do,
the one time he gets emotional.
He gets emotional, he's talking about doing Hunt for Red October, and he does an impression of Sean Connery. And then he starts crying.
Yeah.
He's like such a great man.
He was such a great man. I couldn't believe I was standing there and I got to be in scenes with this one. It's the only time he sheds a single tear.
That's so narcissistic for your own impression to bring you to tears.
To bring to finally evoke an emotion.
Yeah. It's like, damn, I really brought him to life.
I really sound like a Scotsman.
Oh, he's such a piece of shit. Anyway, at the end of the episode, Hilaria decides she is going to go to the trial with the baby, which clearly she'd already decided that. This is all fake. Clearly their lawyer was like, if you go with the baby, that's going to be maximum sympathy. But they pretend this is like, the obstacle in the episode. It's very contrived, but, it's a rough show, but it's just wonderful to get those glimpses inside their mingy little minds.
Right. And their home in the Hamptons is pretty.
It's nice.
The pizza looks good, even the pizza on the floor. I was like, I'd eat that floor.
Agreed.
Pizza.
And I'm not a margarita pizza gal, but that mashed up margarita pizza looked good.
Yeah, no, that pizza looked really good.
Okay, well, this is the end of the episode. Let us know if you want us to continue to cover the Baldwins. I think it is probably going to be all downhill from here, but we are down if you guys request it. And then next week we will have a very special guest and we'll get back to some Roni coverage, covering a very requested, I think misunderstood Roni housewife, Kelly Ben Simone. I think we'll get to the bottom of some of the mysteries of Kelly. if I have anything to say about it. And then, of course, follow us on TikTok at Bravo_breakdowns, and on Instagram, same. And then if you are not watching this on YouTube, follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are, here are boobs. We show you at the end of every episode as incentive.
Hey, this is actually like kind of a lot for me.
Oh, yeah. Hubba. And then, of course, we end every episode with an oral exam. It's a 1-minute essay on a pop culture topic of your choice. Michele, you ready to boogie?
Yeah.
All right. This is Michele Baber's oral exam. Her time starts now.
In this essay, I will prove, you guys, leave. Okay, there's like a video going around TikTok. I saw it on Reddit. I guess like her and Timothy were at a tennis match and whatever. She sees the camera, tries to grab his face and kiss him. He's kind of like, I don't want to do it, you know, whatever. Like he's like watching the game. So he's not wanting to kiss. And anyway, so everyone's freaking out, being like, do you see how much he hates her? Do you see how much he doesn't want to be with her? Like he's trapped in this relationship. Anyway, she looks really hot. You guys, who cares? Like this is like everyone's been in this situation where it's like you're going in for kiss, you're being whatever, you don't want to do. Like this is like a moment. It's a moment in time. Leave her alone. They're in a relationship. This is the dumbest thing that people are mad that they're in a relationship. I really don't want to hear about it anymore. And I wanted to do that impression. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Great. Chris Cooper?
Colfer?
Chris Cooper is American Beauty.
Great. I could do that one too. Okay. Or was that Kevin Spacey? Kaiser so safe.
Yep. Both coming out as gay to so gay. Kaiser so gay.
That's okay. It's okay.
Coming out as gay to cover up crimes. Both the Chris Cooper character and Spacey himself. Okay. Okay, I was gonna do a more serious one, but no, that was so lighthearted that I'm gonna do a fun one. It's still kind of serious. Okay.
I just talked about Kevin Spacey.
That's true. Okay, we're in a dark place. In this essay, I will prove Whitney Cummings was a judge on the roast episode of Drag Race. Now, Drag Race has some of the best editors in the biz, y'all who don't watch. They edited out another drag queen who was the front runner, who was going to win the season. She had a bunch of accusations of being a sex criminal, a predator, and they edited her out entirely. And the season is still really good. I mean, she's in every episode. She won a ton of them. They did a great job. They did it like in weeks. So why wouldn't you edit out Whitney Cummings' homophobic, Joe Rogan, like all comedians are truth tellers who should say the N-word ass. Now that she has like, gone on a homophobic rant and gone full like alt-right rot brained, why won't just take her to the episode? We don't need her.
We don't need her. Yeah. She's just, you know what? Here's the thing. And it's like, I never understood how she was so successful. Like, I don't get it. I just like, I've never laughed at anything that she's ever said. Has great skin.
Yeah.
No, she's not funny to me, but she did do that. She went on the CNN with Anderson and Andy on New Year's, and she did her like roast of 2024. And one of the things that she talked about was like fluoride in the water, and alluding to like it is bad for you, and like why hasn't the government been talking about it? Which, by the way, they are now, but they did it before because it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
RFK's got her back.
Yeah, it's okay. Women taking down women segment, but it's time to take.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. We've let Whitney Cummings slide for a long time because it's like we were women in stand up. We understand you kind of, I don't really judge. I didn't used to judge them for like having to condone very problematic men to get ahead because otherwise you will not be a professional stand up comic. But now things have changed. And also she needs to, it's like your ass doesn't have to, or your head doesn't have to be so far up Joe Rogan's ass that you like can taste the alpha brain.
Right.
Stop being red pilled.
I know that she's probably about to move to Austin. It's going to be her and Joe Rogan.
Liz
and
Platt.
Theo Vaughn. I think he lives there now. And who's that other dude? He was
Tony Pinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I have a story about that.
I told you, dark days.
Dark days.
Dark days in Austin. Hey, America, do me a simple favor. Get rid of these fools. Part 2.
May.
What was the story?